In the world of the future, conventional bouts lost in their pertinence and observers' interest because of an absence of violence. They have been supplanted by gladiator fights including human-controlled robots. Charlie Kenton is a former professional who travels the nation and partakes in robot boxing. However, experiences each loss in succession. Once following a bustling evening, Charlie awakens in his van encompassed by empty lager bottles. He gets a call from a man who gets some information about his $30,000 debt. Charlie calls the man some unacceptable name and the man understands that he isn't the one to focus on. The boxer owns cash as well. Charlie claims to have connections issues and hangs up. A couple of girls come up to the van and request that Charlie show them the renowned fighting robot ambush. One of the girls takes out a camera to snap a photo of the robot, yet the man asks $5 for a picture. The children conclude that an old piece of metal isn't worth the effort and leave. At the fair, Charlie meets his close buddy Ricky, the boss of the arena. He guaranteed to pay Charlie $3,000 in the event that Ambush partakes in a fight against one of his bulls. Nonetheless, the arrangement involved a bull weighing 800 pounds, and Ambush's rival loads 2 times as much as him. Charlie chooses to bet everything and offers Ricky a bet of $20,000 in the event that he wins the fight. Ricky consents to the bet. He cautions of the critical ramifications for Charlie in the event that he loses and doesn't take care of the debt. The fight starts and Charlie bombastically acquaints Ambush with people in general. At first, everything is working out positively and the robot effectively dodges the rival's blows. However, Charlie gets too out of control, associating with general society, and neglects to see the infuriated bull hurrying at the robot from behind. The bull collides with Ambush and takes his leg with it. Charlie asks Ricky stops the fight, yet he cheerfully watches his opponent lose. Eventually, Ambush transforms into a futile stack of metal that kids dismantle for gifts. Charlie doesn't have the cash to pay for the loss, so he attempts to slip past Ricky unnoticed. The boxer is trailed by 2 men and hits one of them, believing that they plan to request cash from him. However, the strangers illuminate Charlie about the disastrous news. His ex has died, leaving their 11-year-old child Max an orphan. Charlie isn't extremely worried about his child's destiny, and he goes to court to sign the parental waiver of caretaker privileges. A few richer family members of his departed ex are able to embrace the kid, so Charlie offers them the right to care for $100,000. For $50,000 deposit, he consents to take Max for the late spring to further develop the dad-child relationship. Utilizing the returns, Charlie purchases Noisy Kid, one of the most outstanding robots with voice control, on the black market. Charlie gets back to the exercise center where he lives respectively with Bailey Talent, the girl of his departed coach. The young lady chides him for a costly buy. As he owes her cash for rent, he endeavors to allure his girlfriend. However, she advises him that she really wants the cash to take care of the bills. Right now, the family members get Max. The kid is vexed not on the grounds that his dad sold him, but since he didn't share the returns. Charlie says that he squandered all the cash on purchasing the robot and that Max can leave on the off chance that he could do without something. The kid chooses to remain and watch the noisy boy unboxing. The contender in the samurai armor emerge up out of the box and everybody appreciates him. Charlie chooses to test voice controls and says a couple of fight orders, but the robot doesn't respond by any means. The man concludes that he was misled and blames Bailey for not really taking a look at the robot. Max goes to be more brilliant than the grown-ups and articulates the orders in Japanese, which is a local language of the robot. Noisy Kid complies and Bailey then understands that they just have to change his voice control settings. After a short test drive, Charlie loads his robot into his van and anticipates going to the following rivalry. Max takes the vehicle keys and asks his father to take him with except if he has any desire to be left without a vehicle. Hesitantly, Charlie agrees and they show up at an underground fight club where they meet many different robots. Charlie is sure that this time he will win without a doubt, so he requests that the coordinator Finn sign Noisy Kid up for the main fight. Max attempts to work his haughty dad out of it and encourages him to participate just in warm-ups since he has never tried the robot on a real front line. But Charlie doesn't focus on his words and make Noisy Kid fight against the star of the fight club, Midas. First and foremost, Noisy Kid causes strong blows for his rival and the crowd lets out invigorated shouts. The robot samurai continues to rule the front line and Charlie is excited that he is going to get the least demanding cash in his life, because of his distractedness. The man misses Midas' hit and the rival assumes command over the fight. Charlie attempts to sort out what orders Noisy Kid has and yells out those orders that sound cooler, each right in succession. Charlie's rival knows the capacities of his robot improves, thus he before long wrecks Noisy Kid, striking his head off. After the overwhelming disaster, just the voice control of the robot survive. Max properly chastens his dad for fighting against the hero without learning any standard orders for Noisy Kid. Charlie would rather not assume the fault and orders his child to shut up if he has any desire to go through this night in warmth and not out in the road. Returning, they stop at the junkyard to search for parts for another robot. While social event parts, Charlie tells to Max an account of how the boxing robots happened and how they supplanted people in the ring. Paying attention to his dad, Max doesn't see a precipice and falls. Max holds tight a robot's hand, which saves him from his death. Charlie goes down the precipice to his child and returns him on the ground, firmly holding the terrified kid near him. Max gets of his arms to see the part that saved his life. Amazingly, he tracks down the body of an old robot in the dirt. The kid requests that his father bring the truck so they can bring their viewers back home. But Charlie returns to his typical self-centered self and won't help his child. Max drags the robot till daybreak without anyone else going up the precarious slope. At last, he carries him to the van. They return to the gym where Bailey finds with sickening apprehension what is left of noisy kid. The lady is disheartened in Charlie and requests that he quit pursuing a non-existent triumph until he loses all that he has left in actuality. The man convinces Bailey to help him once and for all and check the robot that Max brought. It just so happens, an obsolete variant of the robot was made not so much for fighting. Yet, as a fighting accomplice it can't assault. However, it's great at taking a blow. To everybody's shock, the robot turns on and Bailey sees that it has an uncommon shadow include, which permits the robot to imitate any human development. Max cleans the robot from mud and notification that its name is Adam. The kid proposes testing the find an illegal robot fighter to bring in some cash. Around evening time, while everybody is sleeping, Max slips into the gym and turns Adam on. Together, they go on a late night walk, where the kid figures out how to control his very first robot. In the morning, Max chooses to get some information about what his dad used to be like. The lady excitedly educates the kid regarding Charlie's boxing profession, about how he generally battled till the end and didn't surrender even before the most grounded rivals. With the approach of the period of robots, nobody required his fighting skills any longer and he was unable to turn into a boss. Charlie intrudes on the discussion and informs Bailey that he is leaving with his child for Atlanta to find an accomplice who might buy another robot. They show up at the area also. Charlie requests that Max stand by in the building while he goes to search for Finn. There, the kid meets Takmashido, the creator of Zeus, the invulnerable robot champion. The man guarantees columnists that Zeus will obliterate anybody who battles against him on the war zone. In the meantime, Charlie requests that Finn loan him cash for the well-being of their old companionship. However, Finn will not wager on him. Disappointed and furious, he permits Max to participate in a battle at the zoo, just so his child would lose and let him be. The following day, Charlie awakens from Max's voice, as he has been preparing with the atom starting from the morning. He washed the robot furthermore, customized the orders himself utilizing the shadow feature. Charlie is charmingly shocked by his child's industriousness, seeing where it counts where he got this quality from. They show up where the fight is held. Furthermore, Max arranges a deal with the leader. If Adam lasts one round, then the kid takes $1,000. However, on the off chance that the robot doesn't survive, the leader takes him. The fight starts and Max takes command over Adam. The robot doesn't go after yet, just defends itself, consistently taking the blows of the enemy. Charlie encourages his child to move more to move the robot's assaults. However, the rival grabs Adam and strikes him in the head, making him fall. The countdown to the furthest limit of the round starts and the robot has just 30 seconds to get up. Max orders Adam to get up and he complies, and that implies the kid naturally wins $1,000. The leader disagrees with this result and offers to double the rewards in the event that the robot lasts one more round. Now Charlie is attempting to work his child out of this dangerous experience, yet Max agrees. The subsequent round starts, and Adam hops and hits the foe with a devastating blow, making the unfortunate fellow system crash. Max wins also, gladly claims his reward while the crowd cheers him. The following day, the kid keeps preparing with the robot and attempts to show him new orders. When Max gets exhausted, he chooses to hit the dance floor with Adam and he effectively copies every one of his movements. Charlie approaches them, and the kid lets his dad know that he installed Noisy Kid's voice control on Adam. So presently they don't need a control panel. He asks his dad to show Adam his boxing style through the shadow feature. Charlie is at first hesitant and encourages his child to make the dance Adam's unique features in the ring. Max agrees to dance under one condition: only if his dad teaches the robot how to box. Along the lines to starts their teamwork. Charlie teaches the robot combat techniques from morning to night. What's more, Max starts every one of their fights with a dance. Adam gets many victories. Furthermore, the dad and child are drawing closer and closer, subsequent to bringing in cash from modest community fights. Charlie sends part of the winnings to Bailey to take care of his debt with interest. The dance robot rapidly wins the core of the crowd. Also, he is discussed even in the news. Because of the popularity of the robot, Charlie and Max are welcome to take part in the Real Steel Champions League tournament. While Max is setting up Adam, Charlie mentally sets him up for the fight and says that all feelings should be left outside the huge ring. A manager enters their workshop and invites them to the hotel of Farlam Kova, the owner of Zeus. The businesswoman is searching for a competing partner for Zeus and offers to buy Adam for $200,000. The deal is valid until the first round with his rival twin. Cities, Charlie promptly agrees. However, Max rejects and leaves the room. Charlie attempts to convince his child to accept the tempting deal, but he asks his dad to think for what reason Lemkova would need to buy a robot for such a huge sum of cash. Max believes that Adam is unique and doesn't plan to sell his metal companion. To the stunning thunder of the crowd, the two-headed robot Twin Cities enters the ring. Max leads Adam by playing out a fight dance. The robots start the fight and, within the primary minutes of the match, the enemy pitilessly goes after Adam, keeping him from striking back. Charlie then sees Twin Cities' weak points. His right shoulder jerks before each punch. Adam jumps under the opponent's arm and starts to convey obliterating hits to the body, later debilitating Twin Cities' right side. Adam takes him out with a kick to the head. The crowd blasts into applause. Bailey, who has been watching the fight this time, additionally shouts with delight. Max runs into the ring and grabs the amplifier from the referee. He freely challenges Zeus, the robot of Farah Lemkova, to fight. After that, he and his dad take the winnings and go to the van. Ricky meets them there and tells the hooligans to go after them to take his cash back. They beat up Charlie and take all their cash. Stressed over his child, Charlie takes him to his legal guardian to keep him safe. With tears in his eyes, the kid asks his dad to allow him to stay with him. However, Charlie would rather not risk it any longer. Max blows up and passes on to Pat. Also, Charlie refuses to take the other part of the cash for the sale of guardianship. Charlie attempts to convince his child to leave with his family members and says that he doesn't consider himself deserving of Max. As a goodbye, Max lets Charlie know that he believes his dad should fight for him. All the way home, Charlie recalls the time he has enjoyed with Max. He comes to Bailey and lies close to her, which makes her exceptionally blissful. In the morning, the lady persuades Charlie not to leave his child and guarantees him that it isn't past the point of no return for them to move along their relationship and right the errors of the past. They kiss and Charlie goes to Max. He lets his child know that he regrets not being around such a long time. Charlie requests to allow him one more opportunity and vows to fight for him this time. Then, he moves away and Max sees Adam. That's what Charlie says. Zeus accepts his demand and convinces his auntie to allow Max to go to the tournament. Champions League has uncovered that Tak Machito called yesterday's fight with the old robot Adam as an affront to his creation. This announcement caused a PR nightmare for the Zeus team, so they needed to take on the test. Charlie and Max show up at the tournament alongside Adam. Meanwhile, Finn takes bets that the junkyard robot won't go on for the rest of the round in conflict of 1-5. Ricky approaches him and unhesitatingly bets $100,000 that Adam won't go on for the rest of the first round. If his bet works out in a good way, toward the finish of the match he will get a part of $1 million. A welcome show is placed on for Zeus, where he incredibly bounces into the ring to the cheers of the crowd. Adam shows up more unobtrusively, and the fight starts. Zeus takes out the adversary with the first blow. The fact that the champion's victory will make all onlookers certain be speedy. Adam gets up, however, quickly gets another series of strong blows and falls once more. After the third knockdown, the robot gets up and Zeus corners him. At long last, Charlie gets a hold of himself and strikes the enemy, and afterward steps back. To everybody's shock, Adam starts to lead in the fight and obstinately conveys a large number of catastrophes for Zeus. In spite of a solid adversary, the old robot figures out how to remain on his feet for the rest of the first round. Ricky attempts to leave the building in a rush, yet Finn tracks down him and takes his cash. The fight proceeds and Adam figures out how to endure the second and third round. By the fourth round, Zeus releases all his power on the enemy and causes serious harm for him. Another blow obliterates Adam's voice control system. Notwithstanding, the robot figures out how to hold out for the rest of the round. However, presently the possibilities of him winning are minuscule. Max attempts to get his dad to control Adam through the shadow feature. The kid takes note that Lemkova and Machito are beginning to get anxious. Robots concealed to fear the old capacities. Eventually, Charlie capitulates to the frantic requests of his child. He, as a mentor, gives Adam a persuasive discourse before the fight, in spite of the way that the robot can't hear him. The last fifth round starts. Charlie holds the block, depleting the rival. Max starts to stress that Zeus will obliterate his robot. He requests that his dad begin fighting. However, he says it's not as yet time. Subsequent to trusting that Zeus will run out of energy, Charlie conveys a progression of smashing blows. The champion of real steel begins losing, and Tak Machito himself assumes command over Zeus. Despite this, Charlie conveys a strong uppercut to the rival's head and wrecks him. Zeus gets to his feet, however Charlie assaults him once more. Testing all his fighting strategies on the robot, Zeus is saved from complete loss by a gong, reporting that the fight has reached a conclusion. The crowd cheers and yells Adam's name. Bailey runs onto the stage and kisses Charlie. In any case, Zeus actually wins in light of the places and stays the defending champ of the Real Steel tournament. In any case, the fight was a devastating disappointment for Farah Lemkova's company. Adam is articulated people's champion, the result that Max is entirely happy with. The kid falls into his dad's arms, who makes it clear with no words that he is glad for his child and that he adores him. Along with Adam, They go out to the center of the ring and partake in their brilliance and acknowledgement. The end. If you like this story, please subscribe to the channel and like it to motivate me to bring you more stories like this.